Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I'm Jennings Bernard, your host. You can catch me each and every day, Monday through Friday, from 5 to 6 p.m., or whenever I am available. Tell a friend to tell a friend that Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil is on the air. We appreciate you. We appreciate you week after week, day after day, tuning in and hearing what is going on in this city. Hey, they still talking about the city of Memphis. Not only that, hey, if you like to talk about it, LeBron James, um, the Los Angeles, Lakers said that the Grizzlies need to leave Memphis and go to Nashville, Tennessee. Why would LeBron say that? Do he know something that we don't know? Is he just getting ready to tell you something that may happen? Or on the chopping block to move Memphis Grizzlies to Nashville? What do you think? You can chime in on that and give us your opinion. You know the number 901 288 5779. That is LeBron James' opinion of the Grizzlies. Do he know that maybe the revenue from the Grizzlies is not what it's supposed to be? Or is there a clause in the Grizzlies contract whether it falls below a certain amount of people in the stands during the game? And this happened for, say, a consecutive years as it relates to low attendance. You know, they said Nashville is thriving. Nashville took away uh, the Titans from Memphis because Memphis was not a city as the owners of the Houston Oilers back then just didn't show up for the franchise here in Memphis. You had more Steelers in the fan in the stands than you had the Oilers who was trying to move to Memphis, but they went to Nashville. Just ask this question. Is Memphis a professional sports center? Are we equipped? Do we have the jobs in this community to have money for the fans to go out? Not just talking about the people who are well off. I'm talking about the average individual who really wants to go to the Grizzlies, but bills come first. I understand that. But are we equipped for any kind of professional team? Or are we just equipped to handle the Redbirds or a G League? Are we really equipped? Have Memphis fallen from being the number one city in the state of Tennessee to now number two? Some of y'all may not have been around, but I've been around a long time to remember that Memphis was number one in the state of Tennessee. Because if you remember the license tag, when you bought your tag, it used to indicate that Memphis was number one because on the tags it had the number one that says Memphis was number one in the state of Tennessee. But what happened to Memphis? When you look at Nashville, they got the country western, and there's a whole lot of country western fans in the state of Tennessee. You go to Nashville, it's a whole different animal from what it is in the state, in the city of Memphis. When you look at it, you got the Elvis Presley house. And I sometimes believe that they could pick up Elvis Presley's mansion and move it to Nashville. They could do it. You got Tupelo, the birthplace of Elvis Presley. People are coming in, and they're coming in Memphis, in groves, at certain times of the year. My point is, what is Memphis really got for its entertainment to draw people to Memphis, Tennessee? And when LeBron James said this in the article, and I saw a report here where Paul Young jumped on the fact that King James, as they call him, LeBron James, said that the Grizzlies need to move to Nashville, Tennessee. And let's look at Nashville. You know, I talked about the country western. They got certain bars and entertainment that do not be disrupted when visitors come to Nashville, like Beale Street, the killing, the robbery, robbing, killing folks when they leave Beale Street on their way to their cars. People come up and shoot them dead. They say the most violent city in America. And then I saw interviews where former players and potential players say that they don't want to come to Memphis because Memphis is a violent town. And a lot of them say that when they go to other cities, they can't venture out to go to this place or that place. But when they play for Memphis, they got a certain area that they're going to stay in and they're not going to venture out too far. And they just say that it's just unsafe. No, none of them want to come to Memphis to play for the Grizzlies. And it hooks back up to the low income of the citizens of Memphis. They say that we have all kinds of jobs and opportunity. But my question becomes, why are the young people, when they graduate, they're going to other cities where they can make what they call a decent salary? And then they go live in these places and do 25 and 30 years and come back with that retirement because it was higher as it relates to law enforcement to live here and to do 25 years and still have to have a second job that they have to go to once they retire from the Memphis Police Department or from the fire department because Memphis and the leadership is not providing the money for our first responders and the job. You know, we battling on whether we should give $15 an hour to the people who go to work to serve you, to make sure you're comfortable. And we talk about $15 an hour. You don't want to get it. See, Memphis, and let's just break this thing down. Memphis is a greedy town when it comes to money and come to the businesses in the city of Memphis. In other words, they want to make the money, but they want to give you less money so they can have more money. Point that I'm making. The Church of God in Christ brought millions of dollars during their convocation here in the city of Memphis. But the greedy hotel owner would sit back, and it's been proven, the receipts are out there on it, that when they came to Memphis, they hiked up the prices of hotels. And these people are going to be here at least 8, 9 days. And they had to stay in these hotels where you double the price. If the room was $100, it was made 200 and some dollars. only for that time period when the Church of God in Christ came here and brought millions of dollars to this economy, but the greediness of the individual who have the businesses. Oh, they coming, the saints are coming to town. Let's sit up, let's move the prices all around. Until they got tired of it, and I don't blame them. Because we did not have the knowledge of leadership to understand that you rather make a little than trying to get a lot and end up losing a conference to St. Louis. Because St. Louis understood. They said, yeah, we want to make money, but we ain't going to be no clowns. And see, that's what we have in our city. We have a bunch of clowns that's in leadership, and they have the power that be the hotel merchants who want to make more. And when you sit down to them, they say, no, hey, we're not going to make no adjustment for you because you're not strong enough as leaders in this community. So, hey, we're going to do what we do. And they did what they did until they ran the convocation out of the city of Memphis. And St. Louis got enough sense and got leadership. And they'll say, hey, we're going to keep this convention. Whatever these people want, that come in here for 8 or 9 days, going to spend over $40 million or more in those 90 days. Oh, yeah, we're going to make them comfortable to the point that they don't have to consider anyone else. And I'm saying to you, if you take time to just, I put my friend back up on my desk, the thinker. We don't think in Memphis. We're greedy. We grab everything we can. We think we slick, that we can get away with things, but this forensic audit is going to either put you in jail or it's going to expose you for who you really are. That's when I think my show, my title of the show is very fitting. Tell the truth and shame the devil. These devils who have hurt Memphis politically, economically, socially, is all because of the poor leadership. LeBron James said it, that the Grizzlies would do better by being in Nashville. They may want to get some of these first round draft pick or second round, third round draft pick if the Grizzlies was not in the city of Memphis. What do you think? Do he have a point? Because everything I'm hearing by former players right now, they don't want to play for the Grizzlies because of the city of Memphis. And when you say that, you have to own up to it. If they don't want to do that, that means that the leadership can't provide the leadership for this city to prosper. Everybody want money. Everybody's selling everybody out for the 30 pieces of silver. And that says to me they care nothing about you as citizens of the community. They're saying we have record number of people leaving, selling their homes and leaving the city of Memphis. Why? I can tell you why. At the top of the chain is the poor leadership. Secondly, it's the greed as it relates to individuals that are in power. And see, when you are bound up and tied up and you can't speak up because they done bought you like they buy slaves, it's just a different day. It's just a different era. Slaves are being bought politically every day. And when they buy these political slaves, They come into the office, they cannot do what need to be done because they bought and paid for. You look at the things that have happened in this city. Look at how the taxpayers have been made to buy certain things without their approval and then turn around and give it away. The school board bought the old Bear building over there on Jackson for $6 million. They spent 32 to 33 million restructuring the building to sell it for $1 million less to individuals. Somebody sent me a text, and thank you for sending me this text, who said that they sold this building to an organization. I'm going to show you something to think about. Put these dots together. They sold it to this group who former commissioner on the school board, a city council member, former, and then a commissioner on the Memphis Light, Gas, and Water. I'm talking about Patrice Robertson, who they put up, in my opinion, to negotiate because she's the former all of these things to get that building for $1 million less than what you paid for it. The 33,000 that was put in it to renovate it, the building, and it was sitting there, and they sold it for $5 million. This organization, from this text I got, that Patrice Robinson, who's been elected all her life except the time she worked in Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, has always been a political clown and have always made deals with big wheels while eating big meals. And I can contest to that because I walked into AJ's, and there she sit with Stacy Spencer. And she was grinning and skinning and doing all that. But there was a connection going on there. Whether it was political, it wasn't social, but it was a political thing that they was putting their heads together. You got to understand, and I said it is dangerous now in our churches and our pulpit for the leadership to be the devil. Let me just say it. Some of the pulpit leadership are no more than devils who are making big deals with big wheels while eating big meals. You think about the finance of some of these churches that pastors have gotten. Somebody had to finance what deal was made for certain pastors and certain congregation to buy churches that are millions and millions of dollars. Who backed them? Who made the loan for them? See, I can see what LeBron James is saying. I can see just putting the dots together from Patrice Robinson being in all those positions. Now she's the president of the organization that they sold the building to. Who would better to be able to go to the school board, a former school board commissioner, a former city council, and now a person that sit, whether she's still there, a commissioner on the Memphis Light, Gas, and Water. But then I saw when Edmund Ford and his situation came up, and they had to try to find someone to serve as a county commission. She wanted to do it all because she had her name in that to be chosen to sit temporarily on the county commission. Keep in mind, she's been a school board member, a city council, and now sit on the Memphis Light, Gas, and Water Board. Politics has been dictating what happens in this city for years. But I want you to start thinking now. And LeBron James brought this out really not knowing what he just said, and maybe he did, because the NBA probably wanted him to drop that seed to get the idea moving, to move the Grizzlies to national. Grizzlies will never ever be a championship team. Because if you had got the cream of the crop coming out of college, and one thing they're being here, we don't want to be drafted by the Grizzlies. But then when they're drafted, they have to go, but you're not going to get the best of the best of the best players when they come to Memphis and they feel uncomfortable being here. Someone sent me a text saying that John Morant is putting his house up for sale. See, evidently he knows something, but right now he's not marketable. Nobody wants John Morant. His contract would be up in 28, I believe. They can't even trade him because let's say it, because of his conduct and the people that he's associated with. And even his father, the man who's supposed to steal right from wrong, he's acting a fool to the point they had to put him out of the Grizzlies game. See, that's a problem here. And you got to own up to it. And that's when I bring people who I think will really make a difference for you as elected officials. The people who come in here from the sheriff to the register of deeds, the people who come in here and say, listen, I want to represent you. I understand what it is to be a leader and to represent you. And let me tell you something. A leader has to have some grip by his or herself. You got women, they fall into the categories right now. You got Commissioner Beard, who around here haven't done anything really for the district that I live in. But then again, they think, oh, nobody is running against me, therefore I'm doing a good job. No, that's because the people hadn't thought about it. They're not thinking. And this city is going to crumble around us. You already know the city is in chaos because of the poor leadership. Think about everything economically in this city that is making your life harder because of the poor leadership. We know very well Peter and Paul because we are a broke city. And if we're not, it would be a surprise to me. We're supposed to have revenue sitting back for rainy days, but we can't even pay our bills. And it's because of the clown that don't know how to manage money, haven't been in a position to manage anything, but you elect him to office. And what do you get? You keep doing what you're doing, expecting a different result. Guess what they said? They said that's insanity. And in that case, we can have a whole lot of people that haven't taken the time to think about what they're doing. And we are in the midst of our own Sodom and Gomorrah. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to tell the truth and shame the devil. People outside of the city of Memphis got more sense than our leadership in Memphis. They're laughing at Memphis. They're laughing at the city and the leadership. Now understand, if the mayor of Maryland can go in and get elected and turn it around, crime is down. How many people have we had that have gotten and ran on the fact that my top priority is fighting crime? Every one of them clowns, every one of them knuckleheads who pledged to you that they were going to do something about the crime has gone up. And then show you how stupid and idiotic they are. They'll sit here and tell you, well, we had crime under control. We didn't need the state trooper. We didn't need the governor to intervene. We didn't need the military. We didn't need the task force. I don't care who suggested it, who talk about it. If they're making changes in this city, you need to think before you open your mouth and say anything against it, because the city's better. It won't change until it happens to you. And then you would go, oh, where were they? We needed them. My child was shot down like a dog in the street. But right now you're protesting. And you're listening to lies that are being given to you by our leadership all across the board. All crime was down before they came. You lying. Crime was not down significantly before the task force and the military came into this town. And it's sad. It's sad. Come on, it's sad to even think about. You're not even comfortable in this city under this leadership to go to the grocery store. How many have gone to the grocery store, coming out with your groceries, and you get trying to get into your car and put your packages up, and you fumbling and you looking around to see if anybody's going to attack you? That's not the way to live. See, you need strong leaders to be able to come in and say, I'm serving notice on every criminal, crook, liar. I'm serving notice. We coming at you. If you out here committing crime, we gonna put you where the sun don't shine. We gonna let you know, and everybody who are like you, there will truly be a new sheriff in town. Because we coming at you with everything we got. And then we need to do laws and put them in place with these laws. That said, parents, if you got your child and he's 14 years old and he's out here shooting people, killing people, if he's under your supervision, not a grown person, we're going to come at you too. See, this is the way a leader step up to the place, but everybody wants to be politically correct. See, I don't give about being politically correct. I believe in taking the plow and making sure that you are safe in your community. Standing up to businesses in this community that want to take an opportunity to use their resources when people come to town, jacking up the prices, and you're losing. Memphis, you are losing. You are not winning. I don't care what the stats say, because those individuals are saying that to keep their job. They will lie to you. You didn't know that? They'll lie to you. And the forensic audit is going to tell you in the next 75%. They just gave you 25%. And they said what they see already is disturbing. They see nepotism in here. And oh, we just waiting. for the name calling and the business that have cheated you. The deals have been made for them to be all right financially. It's a game, and the game is being played on you, the citizen. But when are you going to wake up? And I'm saying to you, on April 15th through April 30th, you are voting to take Memphis back from the greedy politician, from the individual who would take 20 years of their life to ride up and down the street to Nashville and don't get anything done on behalf of you. But we sit back and we accept it. We look at it and so this is what it is. I do not accept. I do not accept that. See, sometimes you have to raise hell to get things done. You have to speak up. You have to sound the trumpet to let the people know under my leadership, this will not happen. The people know me and having the resources that I would have had as the mayor of this city and strong enough to stand and say, we're going to wipe this clean and be able to do it. If the mayor of Minnesota, if the mayor of any other town that have cleaned it up, why can't the elected official in this town do the same? Because they can have no backbone, because they bought and paid for. Understand, when you get 1.5 million, 1.5 million, that's or 1.8 million, almost 2 billion, excuse me, not million. When you talk about 1.8 billion, that's $2 million, $2 billion, excuse me, that they have, and how much of it went to help our students. The TCAP is coming up, and we'll see where the children are. You can't rush now and try to put all that knowledge into the children's mind now. It ain't gonna work, but it's gonna show Roger Richmond for the snake that he is. It's gonna show all the snakes that's on the school board who want to twist the forensic audit. It's gonna show you that you've been stealing, you've been doing the nepotism, favoritism, and you've been giving the children's money away to make these fat cats live comfortable while your children are suffering from the lack of education. I'm Jennings Bernard. You've been listening to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. On Fridays, I usually do it short, but when I thought about what LeBron James said just with that, and when I think about losing uh, convention, and believe me, we have lost conventions coming to Memphis that the convention bureau really won't tell you. Because do you think they would tell you? Well, we had uh, these people come in, but then they pulled out. Well, why did they pull out? Tell us why, so we can work on what needs to be worked on to make them come. Well, I can't tell you the fact that they said the education system is low. Uh, can't say to you that they say it's too violent to come to Memphis, but they still keep their jobs year after year, administration after administration. And that guy that runs, I think Kevin Kane, will run that visitor bureau for all of these years. Why do you think he want to stay there in that position for all that time? In my opinion, it's a cash cow. And most of these political appointments are cash cows. Do a survey, and people tell me all the time, send me, I wish they would just look at the appointees and look at the administration of the city of Memphis. Most of them are fraternity kappa or sorority, aka. Why should those individuals be in those positions other than other qualified individuals? It's a game that they're playing. And they're trying to master the Jim Crow mentality on you right now, and you don't know it. But let me say this, and I'm done for the day. You have a great weekend. You have a blessed weekend, and you be safe. I want you to be safe because Memphis is dangerous. Yeah. What they do to get us back on the right road. We have to do it. So we do. We're gonna still be stuck in the root, stuck in the hole of almost no return on April 15th through the 30th. On May 5th, and then in the election in August. Do the right thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't, we can't do nothing but shake our head. And I'm gonna say this to you. Unless something change, y'all can kiss the Grizzlies goodbye. Because the deal is gonna be made. Just like it was made from Houston came here and it went to Nashville. The deal is about to be made on the NBA and the Grizzlies going to Nashville. May not be this year, may not be next year, but the platform has already been laid. The attention and all the NBA players up and coming, they don't want to come to Grizzlies. But if Grizzlies move to Nashville, then the top of the line, the income is better, the opportunities are better. They can enjoy a social life in Nashville better than they can in Memphis. Think, ladies and gentlemen, think it's coming. And the people you elected don't have the backbone or to get out there and try to make change in the city of Memphis. I'm Jennings Bernard. You've been listening to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. As always, I ask you to subscribe. Let your friends know to tune in and for them to subscribe so we can keep on doing what we're doing. And for all of my guests who come in and say, you really got a setup here, this top notch, I thank you for that. And we got some more that are coming in next week, and we're going to talk to them. And I look forward to let you hear what they have to say. And everybody who's come here on this program and was man enough, woman enough to come and talk to you, please, sir, please, ma'am, give them your vote. I'm Jennings Bernard. In the words of my grandmother, she always said, if it's the Lord's will and the creek don't rise, we'll see you on Monday. God bless you, and you be safe. And please think about what you're going to do when you go into that voting booth. Not voting for somebody else's idea, but learn what is going on and you can vote on your own ideas. But also remember what I said. Trust everyone, but do not trust the devil inside of you. God bless. Take care.